What's up everybody, it's your boy Sir Splash, and today's matchup takes place between two of the most iconic villains in fiction. On one end, we have Darth Vader, the former Chosen One, an enforcer for the Galactic Empire. In the other corner is Victor Von Doom, aka Dr. Doom, the intellectual rival to Mr. Fantastic and the ruler of Latveria. If these two clashed, who would win? Now, real quick, I know a lot of people have done this battle. I've been asked to debunk this battle before. I decided just to give my own take on it. And I want to let you guys know I'm using base Dr. Doom. If I used any amped version of Doom, like God Emperor Doom, for example, Vader gets clapped. Even if this took place in Latveria and Dr. Doom had access to his power siphoning machine in his building, or even the Doom bots, Vader would be in even more trouble. And that power siphoning, honestly, is a one-shot because it's even during Galactus. So yeah, we have to do base Doom versus base composite Vader, which includes comics, novels, all that. So with that out of the way, let's get into this. Now, Vader, quick background: Anakin Skywalker was the Chosen One, a former Jedi standout. Unfortunately, due to him trying to save his his family, he turned to the dark side for help and power, and was completely shish kebabbed by his master, Obi-Wan Kenobi, in their final battle. Lost his legs and arms, was turned into a cyborg by Darth Sidious after he saved him, lost his raw potential in the Force that Anakin had, but maximized the potential he had left to the point where there's statements that he's 80% of the Emperor's power. As Darth Vader, he would go on to kill multiple Jedi and strike fear throughout the galaxy until eventually he died, killing the Emperor in order to save his son. Now, strength-wise, with the Force, augmentation, and cybernetics, Vader far exceeds even Jedi Masters. He can kill Jedi with single blows and decimate Durasteel and battle droids easily. For reference, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jedi Master, tore open Grievous's chest plate, which was able to withstand blasts from starfighters. Kenobi could also crush Grievous's arms in his grip like he was crushing paper. Kenobi was physically inferior to Anakin, who isn't physically as strong as Vader. Vader's sheer strikes would scale above meteor strikes, which is what Anakin's strikes were compared to when he was raging against Dooku. Speed-wise, he's massively faster than light. Even Padawans can react to multiple light speed attacks or sub-relativistic light speed attacks, which is through the lasers. Jedi Knights, multiple times above Padawans. Then you get the Masters. This is very important. Oh, hairball, sorry. Because Vader can blitz Padawans, Masters, and Knights with ease. Jedi Knights and Padawans fought him multiple at the same time. They couldn't even fathom his speed. They couldn't even keep up with what he was doing. They got, absolutely bullied, and he wasn't even trying against them. So Vader, obviously, massively faster than light. Durability-wise, he fought through the pain of Sidious's lightning a couple times. He was able to fight through Starkiller's lightning. He has taken bombings and just stood there, was unaffected. He's taken blasts from AT-AT, the massive war machines. And he's taken multiple lightsaber strikes and just kept fighting. It was completely fine. He can sustain himself through the Force. However, if his suit's completely compromised, he has to solely rely on Force augmentation, which puts him in a lot of trouble. Intelligence-wise, he's high tier. He is a tactical genius. He's studied several Sith holocrons. He has his knowledge as a renowned Jedi general back in the Clone Wars. There's basically not much you'll throw at Vader he hasn't seen before, at least in his verse. So Force techniques and all that he's seen coming. He uses psychological warfare to dominate his opponents, as well as his knowledge and team combat, hunting down Jedi who are trained to combat him, as well as his knowledge in guerrilla warfare and regular warfare puts him at a high tier for sheer intelligence. Skill-wise, he's a martial arts expert. Anakin was actually a very good martial artist, possibly a little better than Obi-Wan Kenobi was in martial arts. Obi-Wan Kenobi was able to contend with Jango Fett in hand-to-hand combat, who can easily bully other Jedi Knights by himself in hand-to-hand. They use Teräs Käsi, which is a very advanced form of martial arts, which is actually geared towards fighting metahumans, which would be Jedi. So he advanced his knowledge of martial arts after becoming Vader. He also is a lightsaber or sword fighting expert. He builds his style mostly upon Jim So, which is defensive style, mixing in devastating counterattacks. He also uses Makashi, which is a fencing probing style, used to minimize movement, maximize stamina, and to pick apart your opponent. He can use Vapad, which is a rage-induced offensive onslaught, and he did adapt Srisu into his style in order to build upon a better defense, which is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi used against him. Finally, also he's an expert at utilizing his environment and turning everything around him into a potential weapon. Hack's abilities and gear. He has telekinetic pushes. He has telekinetic freezing, where if you leap at him, he can freeze you in the air. He can envelop you in a force shield, a force bubble, to keep you frozen. He has Tutaminis, which is energy reflection and absorption. He has large-scale Tutaminis repulsion. Basically, the energy attacks you throw at him, he can repel back at you. He has force augmentation, which enhances him across the board physically. He has his telekinetic lightsaber throws, where he can launch his lightsaber and control it through the force. He has force fear, which is his passive ability to, strike terror into the hearts of anyone opposing him. He has regular telepathy. He has rage, force rage, which is to the extent that it literally burns Durasteel, which can withstand lightsabers, and those are potentially as hot as the sun. And he has force heal, like I said, can sustain himself through the force. He can alter the environment to where he can, using the force, he can pick up everything around him in the environment and constantly berate his opponents with it. He has force choke, in which he literally chokes out his opponents. He doesn't even have to be looking at them to do this. He has precognition, internal organ manipulation, where he's literally crushed the hearts of his foes. And he has disintegration, where he has literally disintegrated opponents with the force. Moving on, we have Dr. Doom. Now, Victor Von Doom was an accomplished scientist, eventual ruler of Latveria. He and Richard Reed had always been rivals. Richard Reed's considered, the smartest in Marvel, Doom right behind him. The difference is Doom doesn't give a damn. He has one of the biggest egos we've ever seen in comic books, and because of that, he does a lot of hood rat things in the comics, which leads to the Fantastic Four, even Avengers, having to constantly go at him. He's not inherently evil. In fact, he wanted to save the world, and he felt like to do this, he had to be in charge of it, and he truly believed that. So he's not like inherently a bad guy. He just doesn't give a damn about your feelings or your life. Now, strength. He has been able in his suit to throw hands with the Thing, who can compete with the Hulk. He can body Atlanteans, and the Atlanteans he were bodied, I believe, were stated to be near Namor in strength, which, like I said, Namor has, if you see my previous videos, have actually been able to fight the Hulk throughout the years. He's been able to physically fight Iron Man and be just fine, and he has even been able to knock back the Hulk with punches, but he's not near Hulk or Thor's level of strength. He's more near Iron Man's physical strength, consistency-wise. Speed-wise, he's been able to react to Thor, Iron Man, Sentry, Hulk, the Fantastic Four, Doctor Strange. Even depowered, he's able to keep up with, I believe it was Black Panther and Spider-Man in combat. But with his powers, he's easily massively faster than light in combat speed. Durability-wise, he has withstood beatings from the Thing. Punches from the Hulk, it did dent his armor, but he kept going and was fine. He's been able to withstand blasts, missiles, lasers, and large-scale explosions. His armor also has resistance to magic-based and spiritual-based attacks. So it has durability across the board for most attacks. Even Magneto has a hard time getting through his armor. Intelligence-wise, he's second in Marvel, and if he didn't have such a big ego, he potentially could reach first, but he is at least second in Marvel as a genius. He is an absolute genius in science, technology. He's a combative intelligence expert and diplomatic expert. and a magical genius. Even Doctor Strange said he's a formidable foe in terms of magic knowledge. Skill-wise, he's a sword fighting expert. He is a hand-to-hand combat expert. He was even able to, at one point, I believe, might have been the 80s or 90s, but he masqueraded as Daredevil for a little bit. It was able to emulate his ability of combat. He is an expert spellcaster and a marksman with his blasts. Hacks, abilities, and gears, this is a long list. So, of course, talking about base Doom, not talking about any crazy version of Doom. His shields, I didn't include this durability, his shields are separate things, but his shields can take attacks from the Avengers, Fantastic Four. He has taken full blast from Cyclops, and a full blast from Cyclops can put Juggernaut on his ass. It didn't move him. He can even temporarily, I believe this was it might have been a Morrison storyline or another one, but he temporarily held off the Celestials. Basically, he had to let Valeria escape. He said, hold my beer, I'll handle these Celestials, and he repelled their attacks temporarily. He has blasts, which are like magic and science based, that can ragdoll Hulk and Namor. His suit has 100,000 megavolts of electricity. This can be used both defense, like if you get up close, he could shock you, and even an attack, an outward attack. I believe he used this to ragdoll things several times. He has systems that help him in combat, either adapt or analyze his opponents and give him the best method to do so, or they also have life-sustaining systems in his suit. He could teleport. He's displayed this in combat, so it's very reasonable to say he would use it in any fight. He can time displace his opponents. He has telepathy and telepathic resistance. In fact, one time Emma Frost, who's one of the best telepaths in Marvel, tried to read his mind, and Doom was sitting down. He looked over at her and he said, yo, like, stop trying, you're embarrassing yourself. And she was like, oh, damn. So it's very casual for him to even resist that. He can heal even lost limbs. He was fighting, I believe, Scar. Scar chopped his arm off, and Doom was like, whatever, I'll just put it back on. He can BFR anyone to any location or place in history. He can even do this against other spellcasters. He has gas attacks, which have KO'd Hulk. He has the Crimson Bands of Sidorak, and he can summon monsters from other dimensions. Now, advantages. Strength-wise, I give a slight edge to Vader. Both in their suits, they're pretty close, but Vader with the Force, for one-strike knockout power and consistent strength-based attacks, he's a little bit above Doom. Doom just doesn't get down physically that much. Speed-wise, it's a tie. Both have great combat reaction speed, as well as combat blitzing speed. Durability-wise, give it to Doom because of his shields, as well as his armor's natural durability. Intelligence-wise, Vader's a genius. Doom, Dr. Doom is next level genius. So I gotta give it to Doom. Skill-wise, a little bit of an edge to Vader. Yes, Doom is a great martial artist and an expert in a lot of things, but Vader is a top-tier martial artist as well as a top-tier swordsman, one of the best in Star Wars history. And he's an expert in environmental warfare. He just has a little bit of an edge skill-wise to me. Hacks, abilities, and gear, gave it to Doom. Wasn't very hard for me to decide. Now, there's a 3-2 advantage off that to Doom. How would this go if they squared off? So I think, first off, this would be an amazing battle to see just because both are fearless, both are, egotistical in their own ways, and both don't give a damn. Now, Dr. Doom would start off firing blasts, which Vader would be able to repel with Tooth Menace and even throw back at him. Doom wouldn't care about it. He'd easily dodge or just absorb it. Doom would then drop a building on Vader. Vader has a move ability through the Force. So when Doom's laughing at dropping a building on the dude because he's trolling, Vader, the building would not affect him, and he would just sprout out through the building, causing bricks to go flying, and he would attack Dr. Doom. Now, Dr. Doom, with his repulsive shields, would be able to block these lightsaber strikes, and because of his expertise in sword fighting and understanding of martial arts, he would be able to block these successfully. One might land a glancing blow, but it's not going to do any real damage. Doom would then tell Darth Vader to stop trying to probe his mind. Vader does utilize telepathy often in combat, but he's not going to be able to do it against Dr. Doom. Doom would then create separation and summon monsters, trash talking Vader, saying, you're not even worth my time, you peasant. and he would have these monsters attack Vader, who is standing there passively on the ground. Vader would toss his lightsaber like the Chad he is and use telepathy or telekinesis to one-shot the monsters. He would just send his signature lightsaber throw around, beheading and stabbing all these monsters, killing them all. Then, in a fit of rage, he would leap towards Doom, who has disrespected him by turning his back on him. Doom would turn around, hit him with the Crimson Bands, secure Vader in a lock with the Crimson Bands. He would take Vader's lightsaber and likely would have to hit him with a massive bolt of electricity to make him drop it, and then he would behead Darth Vader. Doom, to me, wins 8 times out of 10. His advantages in hacks, abilities, and gear just surpasses Vader too heavily. The only way I see Vader ever really getting a win against even base Doom is Doom being an idiot, talking too much trash, and getting blitzed. Besides that, though, Doom has so many ways he can take out Vader. Vader's the man, he's a Chad, but sometimes you're just outgunned. Anyways, let me know what you think about this battle. Tell me who you think would win. Like, subscribe, comment, join my Discord to talk to me and to talk about future videos, as well as any questions you have about my videos. Anyways, it's been your boy Sir Splash, and I will see y'all later. Peace.